So January is finally over, and man, oh man, what a packed month it was regarding GTA information. I mean, just to name a few things that we learned, a few of the leaks and rumors, we had the GTA 6 female protagonist leak that came out, the 2 weapons that Rockstar actually themselves leaked, potentially being from GTA 6. We had the whole mystery regarding the older GTAs being remastered. We had the whole kind of big announcement that Take-Two might actually be bought out by another company, which would mean GTA would be totally different. We had confirmation from Game Files that said the enhanced edition of GTA 5 will be running on the Red Dead Redemption 2 engine. And then we also had at the beginning of the month, this might actually extend it into December, Yan kind of teasing that the next GTA Online big DLC will be the Cops and Crooks DLC that was supposed to come out last year. So there's just been a ton of information. I thought we'd do a little Q&A regarding it all. So that's what we're doing in today's video. So hopefully you guys enjoy. Now, thank you guys for submitting some questions on Twitter. And getting right in, this is actually regarding the next DLC potentially, but Chris says, do you feel with how lackluster this DLC was, there will be a part 2 at some point with new items to steal and maybe some more older updated vehicles that are actually good? I think a lot of people would assume there would be a part 2 to the CAYO Perico update. I don't know if many people would want that because while yes, the CAYO Perico heist is now like the de facto way to make money, it's still not really a good DLC. Like you mentioned, the cars weren't really that good. The heist itself wasn't really that good, at least as far as gameplay goes. Again, it's great for making money, and you can cheese it to get around all the dumb mechanics and everything, but like compared to the Doomsday heist, compared to the casino heist, I definitely think this ranks at the bottom. So I don't know how many people would actually want a CAYO Perico Part 2. However, the story would make sense, right? We couldn't ever kill El Rubio. It was impossible to kill him, even if you blew up his helicopter. The game just didn't let you blow it up. So maybe that was sort of a little hint that he would be coming back in a part 2. I mean, Rockstar sort of hit the nail on the head with the Casino DLC and then the Casino Part 2, the Heist DLC. Those were back-to-back incredible DLCs. Maybe that's what they were trying to do here. I've seen some rumors, and it kind of makes sense. Like, we've seen in the cutscenes, El Rubio seemed to be some sort of vengeful character, but he never really got his revenge in the first one. So maybe, somehow, he contacts us and gets revenge on Mini Madrazo. I think it was kind of a meme how everyone didn't like Mini Madrazo, so I don't think it'd be too hard for Rockstar to now all of a sudden make Mini Madrazo the bad guy, and we team up with El Rubio. As for how that would work, because we're still heisting his compound, couldn't tell you. But maybe that could be like a part 2, could be you work with El Rubio, get your revenge with him on Mini Madrazo, and then as a result, he opens up the island that you can now go on and free roam. That was one of the big complaints with the CAYO Perico DLC. You couldn't free roam the island. Well, a part 2 could alleviate and solve that problem if we team up with him and he's like, all right, you're free. You can even use my compound maybe as a little area. I am curious though, would you guys want a CAYO Perico Part 2 DLC? Now, like I mentioned, that's not rumored to be coming out. This is just speculation. The one that is rumored is supposedly that Cops and Crooks DLC. Rockstar shelved it back last summer. So they probably still have all of that content to put out. And I think that's what we might be seeing sometime this year. Moving along though, we have Urban Spackflip. He says, you mentioned we're getting GTA 3 Vice City and San Andreas Remastered, but didn't we already get that on mobile and PS3 and Xbox 360? So this is just a rumor at the moment. This hasn't been confirmed. It's not official. Basically, a bunch of the head admins who have leaked some stuff in the past were teasing the GTA 3 Vice City and San Andreas remasters coming. And as for how they would be different, I mean, we're, what, 10 years past the PS3 and Xbox 360? So if Rockstar were remastering these, you would imagine they would look kind of like GTA, or they would look like Red Dead. Like, they would look modern. Maybe one of these days, I actually found some really cool artwork that some people created. I'll share with you guys in a video showcasing how much better those older games could look if Rockstar remastered them and made them in like the modern engines. Also, you'd get much better gameplay, like driving around, shooting and all that. So just little things like that would be better. Now, Lonzy here, do you think the rumored female protagonist will be the only protagonist in GTA 6? So, assuming the female protagonist is true, that leak is true, I don't think she'll be the only protagonist. And it's not because she's a female or whatever. I think it's just because Rockstar, like the multiple protagonist route in GTA, it gives them more to work with. Red Dead Redemption 2, it was great. I loved it. One of my favorite story games of all time. Arthur, one of my favorite characters of all time. But you are limited to what he can do just because, like, he's a set character. GTA 5, on the other hand, you have 3 very distinct characters that you can tell different stories in. And I think they're going to continue that just because in the GTA world, there's a lot more possibilities. Red Dead, that time period, you are a little limited, so it makes sense just to have one character. But in GTA, in like, you know, a modern time, you can go all different sort of routes. And having 3 different characters just makes life easier because then you don't need to shoehorn things into just one primary character. So yeah, it wouldn't surprise me if we get 2 or even 3 again main protagonists in GTA 6. We have Gaming Pride here. He says, do you think we'll be getting the hyped Cops and Crooks DLC because it was planned and withdrawn because of the BLM demonstration? So yeah, I mean, like I said, we know like it is pretty much confirmed going over the game files in the CAYO PERICO update. There were a lot of cut content from that Cops and Crooks DLC. Like things in the game files actually said Cops and Crooks basically. So it was almost confirmed that was the DLC Rockstar were working on. Now, as for the Cops and Crooks DLC coming next, that again is just like a rumor. I believe it was sort of implied by Yan in one of his posts or one of his tweets in like late December. But then again, Rockstar could change things, you know, going forward. But that is what we are all expecting, at least at the very moment. We have Captain with the next question. Do you think Rockstar would reveal anything about the new expanded and enhanced version of GTA Online before its release? Well, one thing that we don't actually know at the moment is if the expanded version of GTA Online will come out with the expanded version of GTA 5. At the moment, it kind of sounds like they're going to be 2 separate things because they are making GTA Standalone its own thing, and then they're also making the enhanced edition of GTA 5. One definitely would imagine, though, they would give us some sort of information on it because, you know, if they don't, I feel like that's going to be less people buying the standalone version of the enhanced edition of online. So I do think we're going to get it, although they did say it's going to come out at the end or the second half of 2021. So we probably have to wait a decent amount before we get that trailer. Dane, do you expect to see big improvements on that next gen GTA? And what are your thoughts on remasters? Would they have modern graphics or what? So yeah, like I mentioned, the modern or the remasters, they would definitely just be those games in like the world of GTA 5 or Red Dead Redemption 2, whatever like the newest engine Rockstar are working on. That's the ideal vision of the remasters, because obviously, like someone mentioned, they kind of remastered them for the Xbox 360 and the PS3, but those really weren't remasters. Those were just made, I guess, for those consoles. Like a true remaster would be new graphics, new engine, new gameplay. So that's what I would hope. As for big improvements on the next gen GTA, I think one of the biggest improvements would be more players. I guess we're going to stick to online for this question, but more players in online. I would hope the PS5 and Xbox One Series X would be able to hold more players in addition to, let's say, animals and all the little features that single player has, like planes flying, helicopters flying, little or more little events happening around the world. That's honestly the one big thing that I am looking forward to. But you guys in the comments can let me know what you're looking forward to. And then Fire Eater, the final question. Do you think that Rockstar feels so much pressure because GTA 6 is basically a legend, and if they mess it up, it would be like Cyberpunk. So yeah, Cyberpunk, look, that's one of my favorite games in addition to Red Dead Redemption 2 of all time. I really love that game. I played through it twice. I have like 200 something hours in it, but it did have its problems, and it definitely wasn't what they advertised. And of course there was a lot of backlash, a lot of it sort of memes, but still it was backlash. And I think a little bit of the reputation, CD Projekt Red's reputation, was, you know, taken away. Like a lot of people don't look up to them anymore. So Rockstar, I'm sure, definitely saw that reaction, and they're like, all right, guys, let's take our time. Let's make sure the game works when we release it. Let's make sure, you know, we have all these things we want to be in it actually done and ready for release. And yeah, I think they are feeling some sort of pressure, but then again, Rockstar's been around the business. They've been around. They've done this multiple times. So I think while there is some pressure there for them, I don't think it matters that much, because at the end of the day, GTA 6 will probably be just as big as GTA 5, if not even bigger. But anyway, that's going to do it for this Q&A. Thank you guys for watching. Please drop a video like if you enjoyed, subscribe for more GTA content, and if there's any other GTA Online, GTA 6, GTA Enhanced Edition news, I will let you guys know. As always, I'll see you all in the next one.